All right, I think we will get started. Thank you all for joining in today for the inaugural Shauna M. Sorrells program called the Opening Doors to Giving event. We want to facilitate as much giving as we can to nonprofits and great causes tonight. I'm Liz Powell. I'm the founder and head of G2G Consulting, and I am the stepmom to Isaiah Dadsey here. And together we're going to run through tonight's program. We're going to start out with some background on Shauna, and then talk about the amazing applicants who submitted incredible applications for this first ever program. And then we will announce the winner, but we have some surprises. And we're not going to announce our surprises until the very, very end of the program. So please stick with us. We're trying to keep this to 30 minutes. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it to Isaiah Dadsey.
Thank you all for coming to the Shauna M. Sorrells program. My mom was kind, smart, sometimes funny, and she always tried to help people. She worked hard in college and spent her professional life helping people with public housing at HUD and the Housing Opportunities Commission. I really think that she would enjoy, that she would be proud of the thing that of the program we're doing here today, and she would love that we're trying to help more people, and she would love the commitment all of these charities have to their cause. So once more, I'd like to thank you all for coming, and give it back to Liz, I guess.
Okay, thank you, Isaiah. So I wanted to say a few things about our wonderful Shauna before we moved on to talking about the amazing nonprofits that are with us tonight. So Shauna was smart, talented, hardworking, fun, funny, silly, brilliant, incredibly compassionate, caring, and really dedicated her life to making a difference. Literally, her entire career was about helping other people, primarily in housing as a national leader in housing, but also saw the integration that is needed when it comes to education, housing, health, so many different social services, and she integrated that into the work that she did. She was the epitome of friendship, and she always put family first. And as I said at her funeral, she has a heart of an angel and the grace of a saint. So family was definitely first and foremost Shauna, and our family did all of our holidays together, all our Christmases, and she was the best at giving presents. We would do pick a name out of a hat for the adults, and inevitably, I think Solomon rigged it so that Shauna and I had each other. For most years, we had each other. So this one year, she gave me an amazing gift I want to tell you about. So it was a nice little box. I opened up the box, and inside was a necklace, a silver necklace with two hearts. One heart said IJK, which stands for our kids, Isaiah, Joshua in the orange, and Caleb here in the gray. So one heart said IJK. The next heart said mom, which meant the world to me because she saw me as a mom to Isaiah. So when she passed, I made a third heart, which says Shauna Sorrells. So I wear this necklace every day in the shower, no matter what I'm doing. She's always with me. So she rose up at HUD, starting as an intern, and then soon became the director of the Office of Public Housing Programs for the entire country for HUD. So she was an amazing leader, went on to be on boards. Isaiah touched on some of her work with the National Low Income Housing Coalition, among many others. She was a national speaker. She was constantly traveling to conferences and met Hillary Clinton, as you can see in the picture. Worked with a lot of amazing people. And she really cared about the issues that all of you are working so hard on. Housing, STEM education, after-school programming, youth mental health services, substance abuse disorder services, poverty intervention, girls and women empowerment, maternal and infant health, adoption, children in foster care, access to college, food banks, access to healthy food, domestic violence, trafficking prevention and intervention, programs for people with disabilities, seniors care, refugee services, care for cancer patients, arts programming, legal assistance, and many more. That's not even the full list. So I hope that you all will look at the program that I sent you just before we started to see the amazing organizations. The applicants span from California to Texas to Missouri to Ohio to Pennsylvania, DC area, all over the country. We're super impressed. And we know the reason is because of Shauna. Shauna's name. So many people were touched by Shauna that so many people spread the word and made sure that nonprofits applied. So Shauna was a world traveler. She took Isaiah to Australia, where he did his first scuba diving experience, became quite the scuba diver. She went to Europe a few times. She traveled across the country, always making trips back home to Kansas City, Missouri, where she was from. She had traveled to Africa before, but we as a family did our first trip to Ghana in the summer of 2019. It was a phenomenal experience for the family. And Ghana is actually where my husband Solomon here was born. And so it had a lot of meaning for us. And that's one of the last family experiences that we have together. Her mom died far too young of breast cancer. So she cared very deeply about health access, health disparities. The most important person in her life, Isaiah, actually excels in science. He's in a special STEM program, and he really wants to be a
astronaut.
So as you can see, these applicants, the theme just covers so much of Shauna's life. We're truly moved by all the connections. And finally, I have to say one of the best things that Shauna did, she surprised Isaiah with a phenomenal present one Christmas. Made your dream come true. What was that one surprise?
The surprise was a trip to space camp in Alabama. It was I had a great time there, and I learned a bunch of stuff about the different missions they had and different technologies that they used there, that they used in space and on the ground.
And your team won. Didn't your team win one of the missions?
I
think it was your first year.
Yeah, it was my first year. It was quite a mission, so much as like a sort of end of the camp game.
So let's talk about these amazing organizations. So what I'm going to do is quickly cover the vast range of groups. So you should have gotten the program, but this shows you it spans from a friend of mine to Fab House. To the next slide covers First Candle, spanning to Open Arms adoptions. And the next slide, Possibilities, Vet Med to Women's Recovery Center. And because you have the program, I'm not going to go into detail about all these applicants, but they're phenomenal organizations. So I hope that you will click through, go to their website, see maybe there's collaborations, there's ways to raise awareness, there's ways to give, to make donations. Any amount makes a difference. So I now wanted to talk about the semifinalists and then pass it to Isaiah for the finalists. So semifinalists, Aramenta Freedom Initiative. This one is all about reducing the threat of child trafficking, providing educational initiatives, local prevention plans, at churches, schools, and communities. They've seen 3 times the normal annual number of girls during this period. So they are taking on some of the most challenging issues right now and making a big difference. The Dwelling House serves homeless families in Montgomery County and has been doing so for 30 years. They are focusing more on mental health, stability, food, household necessities, and educational support these days. A valuable resource in ensuring stable housing and educational support here in the DC area. The next finalist is Generation Hope, which helps teen parents earn college degrees and secure jobs with family-sustaining wages through mentoring, case management, mental health counseling, career readiness, tuition support, and emergency funding. Truly valuable resource, also here in the DC area. And then lastly, Joseph's Home is our final semifinalist. which provides medical respite care to medically fragile adults experiencing homelessness. Many are discharged from a hospital without anywhere to go to recover. So they have stepped in to provide this facility. They are the only one in Northeast Ohio providing this. And they are working to build a second facility to serve medically fragile women experiencing homelessness. So really targeting women and housing needs. So those are the amazing semifinalists. And I would like to pass it over to Isaiah to talk about our finalists.
Right. For first finalist that we have is Africa Matters, which targets people in Africa, specifically women, and supports them with education, leadership skills, and social entrepreneurship. As some examples. The next finalist that we have is Three Sisters, which is a healthcare, which is meant to support people with breast cancer, helping them with support and case management as in case management. The last one that I'd like to talk about is SciTech 2U, which helps with STEM education for underprivileged kids in not well-off community.
So we're gonna let each one speak for 2 minutes. So
and we'd like to have all of them speak. So we'll have African Matters go first.
Hello to everyone, and thank you so much for this amazing opportunity for Africa Matters to be one of the finalists for the Shauna Sorrells grant. And hello from South Africa. Imagine an Africa where Africa's youth boom is celebrated, not as an economic burden, but as an economic opportunity. Imagine an Africa where economic growth is synonymous with human development. Imagine an Africa where African youth are upskilled and empowered to be able to transform the communities that they come from. And imagine an Africa where adolescent girls and young women play an equal part in the economy, where we are valued for our contributions and we are allowed equal footing to be able to succeed. That is the Africa that Africa Matters is shaping. Through the workshops we have across the continent focused on leadership, youth development, career development, social entrepreneurship, and advocacy, we are creating and shaping an Africa that is inclusive to all, and it's the Africa that we want. Africa Matters has been in existence now for just over 5 years. And in this 5 years, we have had limited funding, but constant passion, and passion that cannot be measured. And it's through having that passion that we've been able to impact the lives of over 30,000 African youth and diaspora across the continent. Whether it is young people in South Africa, where we are here, whether it is young people in Ghana, young women in Ethiopia, we've been able to have an incredible impact. The funding from this incredible grant would allow us to really execute our newly launched She is Empowered program, which is all about how do we empower young African adolescent girls and young women with the skills and tools that they need to not only transform their communities, but to build that confidence and self-belief in themselves so that we can have multiple former president of Liberia, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. How do we create more such presidents on our continent? And that is the sort of caliber and drive that we'd love to achieve. So this grant would mean everything to us. We are an organization that creates content for African youth, by African youth, empowering African youth, and so much of what we do, the workshops we host, the values we instill align with the very values of this grant. We thank you again for this opportunity, and we can only hope that you see our impact in all the work that we do.
Thank you for your that speak. Now we'd like to have Three Sisters speak.
My goodness, I don't even know how to follow that. That was tremendous and very inspiring. My name is Shannon. I'm the executive director of 43 Sisters, and it is such an honor to be a part of this program and this event in honor of Shauna. My husband and I started 43 Sisters after he lost 3 sisters to breast cancer. His sisters didn't perform self breast exams or do yearly mammograms. And so it was our mission early on to set out into the community to educate the public about the importance of mammograms and early detection. Our program grew into serving men and women who had been affected by breast cancer by providing financial grants and case management services to families in need. We provide financial grants, case management services, and really we're about solving problems and alleviating burdens for people affected by a breast cancer diagnosis. We also go out in the community, particularly low income and under resourced communities, to talk about breast cancer and to provide access to early detection methodologies such as mammograms, doctors, and screening tools that they wouldn't otherwise get. This grant for 43 Sisters allows us to actually do both. It allows us to continue to help women, particularly women of color who are low income, mostly coming out of the Baltimore, Maryland, USA region, as well as to launch a very special project that we have coming up in the spring that will go into, again, low income, under resourced communities, most often communities of color, to provide very focused, very specific breast health information to these women, as well as access to mammograms. Just before I got on this, webinar, I was speaking with a woman out of Missouri who is 29 years old, facing a late stage breast cancer diagnosis, who said to me she was tired of being homeless, hungry, and alone, and that we were the first organization that actually really made her feel like somebody cared. And we've arranged housing for her. We are arranging a grocery delivery after this presentation, and we are covering the next 3 months of her rent so that she can get settled and start her treatment in a stable environment and with confidence, knowing that she is not fighting breast cancer alone. And that's what this partnership would do. This is what that grant would do, is to help women just like her get back on her feet, be contributing to society, and be a well and healthy human being. And we do that in honor and in memory of so many women before her and that will come after her. And that's what we do to serve our community. So thank you for the opportunity. It is an honor to be in the presence of the other 2 amazing charities and this organization. Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, we'd like to have SciTech 2U speak.
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm very honored, and it's amazing to be among Africa Matters and 43 Sisters. I am from Accra, Ghana, so that, Africa Matters means a lot to me in terms of what they're doing. And I'm a female, and I know some of the challenges that happens, with females growing up. I've also lost friends to cancer, to breast cancer, particularly close friends. So, both of your organizations are needed. But what the impetus for starting SciTech 2U for me was when I was teaching at a for-profit college. I had a one particular student there that was very charismatic, I noticed, but sometimes he would come to class late. Sometimes he wouldn't even come to school. And one day I pulled him aside and I gave him a good talking to, and I told him his potential. And when he applied himself, I noticed that he did very good work. So to make a long story short, after that conversation, he went from F's to A's. And I taught biotech. So when we, in the lab, we keep notebooks, and you could just see the transition in his notebooks, how he just progressed and blossomed, just within a few weeks. And about 2-3 weeks out into the program, the president of the school walked into my classroom with two plainclothes police officers and handcuffed him and left. And I wanted to reach out to the police officers and say he has changed. I didn't know exactly what happened to him or what he did, but I was shocked. I was stunned. All the students in the class were stunned because, like I said, he was very charismatic and very friendly. And for that, it did something to me. I felt like I needed to help him. I needed to help, young men like him. And I felt, reaching out to adults was too late. And I wanted to reach out to younger children. And that's what started SciTech to You. And we offer underrepresented, underserved communities K through 12 STEM programs. And it's not just any STEM program. I have background in pharmaceutical, government. I've done government research. I've worked in biotech, and I've taught for 9 years at the for-profit college. So everything, the lab notebooks, once they step into my classroom, they go through lab safety. They do the lab notebook, and they have professional lab notebooks, just like, they would in any, university lab or research lab. I bring all my experience into the lab and they learn it. And we do, we offer innovative programs. We're offering aeronautic, Isaiah, this year for our students. And our students, actually, our high school and middle school students, co-pilot a plane. They actually flew a plane up in the air, and the elementary school students learned flight simulation just this year. And we offer many classes. This winter camp, they're having robotics. Our middle and high school students are doing robotics and Arduino, and elementary school students are doing chemistry, and they learn engineering design process. They learn the scientific method. It's just a culmination. And this the program, it gives them hope, and it gives them a goal, and it keeps their minds focused on a goal, and they're exposed. I think the biggest thing for students to kind of maintain their educational goal is to have a goal to attain, to achieve. And then this is at the heart of SciTech to You. Thank you.
Wow. Amazing organizations. Amazing. Thank you all for sharing and for all that you do. And you are taking the lead on making the announcement. If you.
All right. Now I'm proud to announce the winner of the Shauna M. Sorrells grant. It is for Three Sisters.
Yay!
Thank you all for participating. And
we'd love to give you a moment to speak, to share some thoughts. Congrats.
I need 1 second. Wow. What a tremendous honor. Oh my gosh. I value so much when we work on behalf of women and in memory, particularly in memory of women who we've lost for whatever the reason. It makes our work so much more important. It makes it more meaningful. In the time of COVID, we've seen a dramatic increase in the request for our services. COVID is hard on everyday healthy folks. It is particularly hard on cancer patients who are immunocompromised. And so the demand for our services is up and our fundraising is down. And this grant will truly make an impact in the lives of the women who are coming to us for help. And it also gives us the amazing opportunity of going out in the community and getting people where they are who don't have access for whatever reason to the health and the wellness that they need. And to be able to do that in Shauna's memory is really special. And I'm very honored and I'm very privileged to know that we get to do that. Thank you so much for letting us be a part of this. I have to tell you, I if we weren't the winners today, I was so impressed by the work of all the other charities. There is no loser in this. Every charity here is amazing, and I promise that we will do these funds justice, and we will make you proud with what we do and the impact that we have in the community. Isaiah, it really is a privilege to be able to continue our work in your mom's name. I will make you proud. 4-3 Sisters will make you proud, and you are part of our family. Thank you.
Thank you as well. Well, I hope that you continue with the good work you were doing, and yes, you continue to make and you use these funds to the maximum, to the best that you can.
So moved by all of you, and you are getting $10,000, but you're not alone. We're going to have some other winners tonight, and here's our surprise. You're all winners. So 4-3 Sisters will get $10,000. The runner-ups, Africa Matters and SciTech to You, will each get $1,000. And then the semifinalists will each get $500. I hope that those who are on the phone, on the webinar now, will click the links and add to these donations. Even if you only do $10, that could be coffee, that could be a meal, that could be so many things for so many of these awesome organizations. So please join us. Please click the links in that program that I sent you and help make a difference. We will post all of this on our website, the Shauna M. Sorrells website, and you can give later if you don't want to give now, but we will make this available, and we want to facilitate giving. We also plan to run programs for nonprofits to help nonprofits grow and be more successful, all in Shauna's name. So we are going to do webinars. We're going to do networking. We want to create this community. So all of you on this page are all grant recipients, and you're all in this family, and every single applicant is in this family. So please stay tuned. We will send you more information. And please use us as a resource, because we want to help make a difference. And we know you all are making a difference. So congrats on winning the grants. And then I think we have a final slide on amazing words from Shauna herself. Words are just a start. Action is what is needed. And that is what you're all doing. And that is what this is about. So thank you. Final slide gives you information on our webinar on January 13th. So we at G2G, we're a government affairs firm, and we work with a lot of folks. We help them find grants. And the number one complaint we hear is, but we didn't get the grant and we don't know why. We're going to tell you. We're going to do a webinar, and we're going to give you all kinds of thoughts, tips, insights, strategies, whatever you need to know so that you can win this next year. And then we're going to give you other tips that will be helpful for nonprofits. So please join us January 13th. You should have gotten the link. Again, it's on our website. We'll make sure you can't miss it. Keep making a difference. Keep being awesome. Thank you again for all that you do.
Keep up the good work.
That's right, Caleb. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I just want to thank you again. Thank you so much.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.